Hi guys, for the first time in the history we have a US made AK by the major rifles manufacturer who is also producing, of course, the ARs. So we got Palmetto State Armory and Palmetto State AK Gen 2 PSAK rifle from them. We'll test both of these rifles, unfortunately not at the same time because of the logistics. It's absolutely impossible. You guys have to understand that it's 34 magazines just for one rifle to load them, carry them on the field and things like this. But both of these rifles will be going head to head and we'll see what the Palmetto State Armory can do. So I just want to say this is the first time in the history when we got the major manufacturer of the AR rifles making also the AK rifles right now. But let me start off with this AK. Guys, usually we purchase the rifles for the 5,000 rounds test. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, Palmetto State Armory is the only place to purchase the PSAK47. You can buy it only from them, and they did recognize me when I was trying to make a purchase, and they said, "Screw you, Rob, we'll send you the one." And I just wanna make this clear that this rifle was basically donated by Palmetto State Armory. All right, that doesn't mean we're going to go easy on them. And that brings me to the cosmetics right off the bat, guys. So what I have noticed that somehow you cannot really tight the muzzle device to the end of the muzzle, to the front. It's getting jammed on the threads of the barrel. Originally this rifle comes with the slant brake, and I thought maybe it's a slant brake problem. I changed it to the fighter brake and it's the same problem. So I will let the guys from Palmetto State Armory know, that they have that gap. For me, it's a little bit annoying, okay? And I may try to force it. When I'm done talking, I may try to force it and see. I will use some wrench and try to, screw in and see how this is going to go. But when I tried to do it, in a normal way, I reached the point and I was like, do I really want to play with it or not? Another thing which caught my eye when I was working on the front side post, I have noticed that that drum which is holding the front side post was not centered in that cutout. So again, it's tilted that way towards the rifle. A small detail, annoying in my eyes a little bit, okay? A good thing is the rifle is pretty much straight. There is no cant on the rear. There is no cant on the rear post. There is no cant on the gas block, and there is no cant on the front post as well. So they did a good job. Here is just that annoying tilt. And we kick out with the very interesting test. So we shoot from the 25 yards using the iron sights this time for the group. After this, we go and do immediately 4 magazine dumps, and then we reshoot the group to see how big is the point of impact change after you are hitting up the barrel. So this is exactly what happened today. I shot the first group and I went and I did the mag dumps, and as you can see, guys, that point of impact shift was absolutely almost a non-existing one. So honestly blown away by that barrel. To give you the idea, today is 96 degrees. That's why I'm all sweaty and probably stinky as well, but it's very humid and hot. And after 4 magazines, the gas block was 560 Fahrenheit when I checked the temperature. So it went really hot. Still, it did not impact very much the point of impact shift. So that was very interesting. Also, rifle appears to be extremely accurate. I went to the 300 yards right after doing the more dumps on this barrel, and there's no problem hitting the targets from 300 yards with iron sights when the barrel is hot. So this tells me that they did a good job on the barrel. By the way, it's a 4150 nitride barrel, and the barrel is really, you know, I'm really impressed by the barrel, let's put it that way. All right, but from the cosmetics, any other thing what I noticed too is that safety is a little bit loose, and I will fix it. I want to give it a try. I want to use it for the first 1,000 rounds and see how this is going to work. It's not, you know, it's not like it's going on his own up, but it's kind of loose. I like the safety a little bit tighter. We also had, as you can see with this magazine fits perfectly. It's a backlight, Russian backlight, but some surplus magazines were locking up really hard, and you know, you had to really knock them out. You know, they were locking in, everything was fine, but they were a little bit hard to get out. Maybe this will change, you know, when I will keep using it, but as I said, there is no mag wobble on the left or right. There's a very tight fitment on the magazine, and all commercial magazines fit as well. We're running Magpul magazines. I ran the Pro Mag magazine. Everything fits to that rifle. So this is something really cool, something to watch for on those US made AKs, and they did a very good job. Also, as for the rivets, all the rivets are looking very nicely made. I don't see any deformations, and nothing is sticking out on the rivets on the rifle. Also, this goes for the side rail. The rivets on the side rail are nicely made. Barrel pin, clean job. You don't see any, you know, egging. Sometimes you see how the people are butchering the job on the mounting the barrel pin. You see the, you know, like egg shaped holes. It looks nasty. Okay, so they did a clean job. Also, check this out. After 1,000 rounds, perfect fit on the dust cover. Nothing, there is no noise, nothing moves. One thing which I have noticed on a few occasions, what we had the cleaning rod walk out on his own from the slot. So I don't know why is this happening, but it happened. So the cleaning rod, not very uncommon on the AKs, unfortunately. The rear side post stays in place. You know, nothing really happens so far. But to be honest with you, we didn't torture this rifle yet, with the exception of you know, just the magazine dumps. And point worth of noting, 0 malfunctions. Whatever we throw at this rifle today, I was running the hollow points, I was running the Tula ammo, and I was running the Wolf ammo. Everything cycled through it without any hiccups, not even one malfunction. All right, enough of the bullshit talk. Let's take the magazine out and let's see how we are doing on the internals. By the way, the rifle came all covered in you know, a lot of oil. So I just used the bore snake to remove the oil from the barrel, but then I left everything on it, and I didn't lubricate the rifle. The idea is we are switching, we'll lubricate the rifles right now every 600 rounds. Why 600, you may ask? Because it's an easy math. If I'll have 20 magazines on the ground, I know I dumped the 600 rounds. So, but I didn't have to lubricate this rifle. Look, this rifle is still all covered with oil and everything, so I didn't lubricate it because there was no point of doing it. Boy, that's recoil spring jump out. All right, I don't see any damages on the recoil spring and the push button. Everything looks perfectly fine over here, but as well, trigger hammer, I'm guessing trigger is made by Palmetto State Armory, or they're using some no-name OEM which is manufacturing that trigger for them. Honestly, trigger isn't great for the fast shooting. It's good for maybe a target shooting, but it has that very long pull. You know, it's a very long pull when you shoot, and for me that's a little bit annoying. And then you got that long, you know, long reset, and you see this is the reset, and then you're shooting. So a trigger is a little bit annoying for me, but again, this is what they put as a default. Probably if you want to upgrade it to something nicer like ALG trigger, I would highly recommend especially because this rifle shapes to be outstanding for the accuracy. All right, they also using the internal plate, so there is no shepherd hook or paper clip, which I absolutely hate them. So they did a good job on using you know, at least a nice plate. So that being said, let me pull out the bolt carrier and the bolt. We will start with the bolt, okay? And as I said, I didn't oil this rifle. Look at this, guys. It's all whatever was dumped on it at the beginning, and that's why it's so you know, oily. So be aware when you will receive the rifle from Palmetto State Armory, it will be well oiled. But nothing special on the rear of the bolt, just basically a beautiful marks of you know, machine part working, okay? Nothing here. Firing pin is free floating. And how we are doing on the locking locks, everything looks good here, guys. Everything looks nice and juicy. A little bit here we got, you can see the working elements will be up, but this is more like rounded up right now. I will take a pictures. You should be looking at the high resolution images right now. And how we doing on the back? The back is absolutely beautiful, and the bolt is basically machine billet made. That's what they said on their description for the rifle, and everything stays in place. The face of the bolt looks absolutely cool. Let me clean this a little bit so I can have a better view. So far so good. We'll continue to watch how this is looking like, but I don't see anything jumping out of the box. If you guys will spot something on the picture and I didn't talk about it, as always, please let me know and I'll take a better pictures, or we'll start paying attention to it. Here are some machining marks on the bolt. I don't know why they left it like this. It is here, all right? But as I said, zero problems today, 100% reliability. All right, let's have a look at the bolt carrier. And again, look at that all oil. I mean, whoever is responsible at the Palmetto State Armory, who is running with the can oil, slow down. You're doing a great job, but slow down, all right? And how we are doing with that bolt carrier, guys, beautiful. There is nothing on the tail of the bolt, no deformation whatsoever at this point, at least. Nothing on it, perfect surface. And here inside the channel, I don't see anything happening from any angle I can think about it as well. All right, now the piston, the rivet stays on. There is a little bit slight movement on the piston, but this is nothing unusual. This is normal for the AK rifles. Nothing you know, screaming. It's just minimal movement. How we are looking on the piston head, other than dirty, I don't see any deformation marks on the piston head. So job well done so far. Now let's have a look into the trunnion. All right, we have and absolutely this is looking good. I don't see any fresh meat marks, like sometimes right away you can see the fresh meat marks with material being taken off or taken out on the trunnion, but this is looking absolutely beautiful. The trunnion is billet made as well, guys. That's again from the description of the Palmetto State Armory. Now we know that some manufacturers have problems with those rivets at the end of the trunnion. They take a lot of pressure because of the magazine leverage and everything. So these rivets are very important, but the rivets are staying extremely tight. There is no movement on it. How are we doing with the rivets on the trigger guard? And this is looking beautiful as well. Nothing, I don't see any damage on the bottom of the trunnion. To be honest with you, it looks very, very clean. No deformations, no nothing so far. And one more look from the top. Let me see it, that you know, bullet guide is riveted. There's a riveted bullet guide, so it's not I have seen on the previous rifles, I think it was WBP, it's a one part, they don't use the riveted part on it. This one is riveted, so it's looking really good. And this is that beautiful barrel. I have a good feelings about that barrel, guys. When we'll start putting the optic for the next week, we'll see what we can squeeze out from it. Okay, all right, so far so good. We talk about the trigger. Let me dive in up front and see what we got here. Let me move the lever. Lever moves without any issues. All right, let me see if I can remove the gas tube. Yes, no damages on the gas tube, nothing, perfectly fine inside. And even gas tube is covered with oil. So again, dude who is responsible for oiling the rifles, awesome job, 2 thumbs up. Slow down, man, slow down, you're doing great job, okay? Don't let anyone tell you differently. All right, and of course, this is basically the bottom of the handrail. Let me see if I can lift this up. You shouldn't really use the gas tube for it. So what I'm doing is absolutely redneck and you know, not recommended for doing it, but I'm trying to improvise in this situation and I act like an asshole, but there we go. I got the lever out. Let me remove that cleaning rod, and it's a cool touch that they do include the cleaning rod. Guys, the cleaning rod is included, and bayonet lock if you want to use a bayonet. Right now, let me see if I can remove the handguard. Handguard has the US marking, it's a US made, and it includes the heat shield. Of course, when you're doing a magazine dumps, I will tell you right away, no matter what kind of handguard wood or whatever you have, it will get hot as fuck, okay, and you will burn your hands. So basically, keep using gloves, but even with the gloves, very often, this is why I use the magazine well grip most of the time, guys, because the AK gets hot, okay? That's the nature of the beast up front. All right, do I have any markings on the barrel? I don't see any markings on the barrel. As you can see, they have the standard shape AKM front trunnion up front, which is awesome because you can use many different handguards right now, and there shouldn't be any problem fitting the handguards to that rabbit hole. So do we have any markings on the trunnion? No, there is no markings on the trunnion, but it's a very clean job. And of course, you got the Palmetto State Armory on the side and at the bottom logo. All right, so this is how it's looking like. Let me have a quick look into the gas block. Gas block looks clean as well. Very nicely done, very nice job so far. That being said, guys, please remember, we just did a 1,000 rounds. All right, I'm getting very excited too often. Okay, so far so good. This rifle, I will tell you, it overachieved in my eyes as far as my expectations. I like it better. It's looking better than I was expecting it. All right, so but as I said, it's only first 1,000 rounds. You know, you remember what happened to Radical Firearms. I was very excited, did 4,000 rounds, and then we had some hiccups. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind, guys. First episode, so far so good. I would say that so far Palmetto surprised me, okay? Palmetto surprised me with the few initial quality hiccups, as I said, up front. That shouldn't, you know, it's easy to fix. I can move that drum. I will try to do something about that muzzle device on the end and to see if I can, you know, tighten up that muzzle brake. Other than this, so far so good. Guess what? 4,000 rounds left. Palmetto, can you handle it? All good.